CanBio is cleaner.
Bioenergy is cleaner.
BC Bioenergy Network is cleaner.
British Columbia is clean and getting cleaner and is going to be the cleanest.
Welcome to the 4th Annual National Bioenergy Conference, delivered by the Canadian Bioenergy Association.
Small-scale district energy, I think it's a tremendous opportunity here in BC. You look at the Clean Energy Act, it's electricity, electricity, electricity. And if you look at thermal and you look at the big opportunity for offsetting GHGs, that's where you want to go. It's a much bigger bang for the buck.
We're going to use this dialogue as a first step in that process, but we're going to support others to reach their goals.
We've taken this opportunity to offer a special forum here as part of the conference, one that is dedicated to community energy systems.
Future Energy Challenge is now. It's happening right now as we speak.
So what are we talking about? In our view, district energy is really a thermal grid. We're all used to the electrical grid. We're all used to having water supplied to our houses, so a water grid system, sewer systems, all these good things municipalities do. But for some reason, we've kind of forgot about the energy side.
Biomass should, wherever possible, should be used locally, avoiding longer distances in transportation.
City of Surrey, unlike North Vancouver, City of Vancouver, and Whistler, we do not have a district energy system. But we see with this amount of growth, this is the time for us to act.
80% of the Danish district heating supply is free heat. It's from combined heat and power plants. So we don't have to produce it twice. And it covers 62% of our nation, so it's a pretty big deal. And it is like this with heat. 40 to 60% of every nation worldwide. Heat is the primary energy resource for 40 to 60%. It's so much bigger than power. And yet all you do is speak about power. Power is half at best. I mean, you need to turn the business model around. Heat before power.
I see so many opportunities when people make use of the biomass. They're sitting in a forest, they're sitting in a fantastic area. They're really sitting on a mountain of gold and can make a lot of money out of it, but they're sitting on the mountain and so they can't see it.
You have such a wonderful province. You have such an abundance of energy, but I really, really think that you're not handling it wisely. You are wasting so much of your energy just because it's in an abundance. It doesn't give you the right to waste it.
Yeah, a main point is that we've had a number of people come in from Europe who have brought some of their experience, 20, 30 years, in countries like Austria, Finland, Sweden, in terms of their local heating systems, and we should learn from that because I think there is equal economic development opportunities for us in the lessons that they provide.
The next step clearly is we've got to seize upon the opportunities that are immediately available to companies and communities in BC. We've got to focus and look for the low-hanging fruit. We've got to take advantage of the wisdom and the experience and the dialogue that took place, and we've got to make things happen.
Yeah, PEX pipe's a great idea, and matter of fact, you know, if you can find the right situation, it can work, and it can be cheaper than steel. So there's different types of piping systems.
I have to disagree. That's not a good pipe solution.
Okay, well,
but
let's hear this. Let's have this dialogue out. This is good. This is good.
I mean, PEX is great if your temperatures will allow it. So generally, if you're operating at 85 degrees C or better, continuously, PEX won't work. And plus, it's limited in size. You can only get it to 4-inch diameters. So it really depends on the system. Small systems, there's a chance you can use it. Newer buildings, where the buildings are designed to a lower temperature standard, you can use it. There's even copper systems. So there's all sorts of systems out there. It's the engineer's job to find the right system for the right application.
Yeah, the Baldy Hughes project, you know, we looked at a number of options as far as what we would run out there. But we found is with using the non-steel application, it was the most flexible way to do it because simply it came pre-insulated. It could be put above frost level, not below frost level. It wasn't really required. It has the ability to move on the ground level. So therefore, $250, if anybody's doing some math, that will suffice for the initial sort of preliminary study.
Every time I've approached the Minister of Government, and I've said to them, you're laying pipe, lay 2 more. The road is already open, you've already created the open. Just lay 2 more pipes. It's not going to cost you $1,200 a square meter or anything like that.
I'm very surprised by our few developers are reluctant to connect. And I think the costs, from what I look at the model, it's not so much to the users, it's really to the developer to install a hydronic system. So there's a few that are reluctant, that like to go with baseboard electric. They're familiar with that. It's a bit less costly and all that for them. But the usage, the end customer, it gives them, I think, a bit of security also that they'll be able to diversify their source of heat.
You know, you have cheap natural gas. We have cheap natural gas, but we just tax it because it's a waste resource to use for heating. So we tax what we won't want, and I know this is a bad thing to do over here in general. I don't like to be taxed, but you know that's how it is. So tax what you won't want and exempt what you want from taxes. It's how to guide people.
Policy must be there. In Austria, Germany, you get the full renewable incentive if it is CHP only. Otherwise, you don't get the full incentive for biomass.
We live here in BC and we talk about drivers and motivators. Today, the carbon tax on natural gas in this community is $1 a gigajoule. Next July, it goes to $1.25, and after that, it goes to $1.50. The reason the greenhouse growers are on wood today, as I drove in this morning into Vancouver, is that wood fuel for them in this area is cheaper than natural gas. What we're talking about here are long-term solutions, not just today, but where are we going to be 30 to 40 to 50 years from now?
We need to make sure that questions, valid questions our citizenry are asking are answered. So we hope this will take a small step forward to meet that objective. I'm going to take us up a level from the technical density up to community engagement. What are some of the best things that communities and municipalities can do to ensure that their citizens are educated and engaged as they develop their projects?
What I see in the small communities is definitely a superb job creation. No doubt about that. So all the money you spend on energy so far can be converted into jobs which stay in the community.
Some of the examples that I think have worked really well, Southern Fraser University worked with the Trust to develop an outreach program. We held several open houses and advertised that in the local media and invited people to come out and learn about what we were doing. This was before the decision was made. This was during the feasibility study phase, so we're able to take their input, their concerns. If you bring it as a foregone conclusion, you'll get more pushback. If you get involvement during the process, I think you get a much higher level of engagement and excitement about the whole thing.
This is community heating. It's everyone coming together for a common initiative. So what's happening is they're taking biomass, which is a great renewable energy source, feeding it through systems that are heating our hospitals, our schools, our homes, and displacing the use of fossil fuels and natural gas, which is currently being used today.
Collaborate, okay? That is what you should do. And by the way, it's so funny that every time I'm in North America, there's so many good intentions. And you collaborate on power, you collaborate on wastewater, you collaborate on water supply, you collaborate even on school buses. I mean, you get strange people to drive your children. But collaborating on heat? No, man. No way, nobody's touching my heat exchanger. So, but if you did, we will have a world that is greener and more prosperous.
We didn't have enough time today. I think what today's session showed is people had a huge number of questions.
Because our panel discussion has been so engaging, we'd like to welcome you to join us online. And you can join the online forum by logging in and registering with iscleaner.com. Now,
can I put the video on Facebook too?
You can put this on Facebook.
Can I
whenever
tweet it
you
too?
like. You can tweet this out as much as you like.
And where else are we going to find it?
You will find it on iscleaner.com and also on the BC Bioenergy Network website.
This is the Internet of Heating. It's going to be the next big thing.